Day 30, verses 31 to 33, the clarity of duty. Namaste and welcome to Gita 360. So far, Krishna has helped us understand the nature of life, death, and the self. With that foundation in place, he now shifts the focus. He moves from understanding what is to recognizing what must be done. In these verses, he brings attention to duty, not as an external obligation, but as something deeply aligned with who we are. Besides, considering your duty as a warrior, you should not waver, because for a warrior there is no better engagement than fighting for the upholding of righteousness. Krishna introduces the idea of swadharma, one's own duty. This is not simply about profession or role, but about acting in alignment with one's responsibility and duty. When action arises from this alignment, it carries clarity. Hesitation often comes not from lack of understanding, but from inner conflict. We may know what is right, yet feel pulled back by discomfort, fear, or emotional attachment. Krishna is pointing out that when we are clear about our responsibility, confusion starts losing its hold over our minds. Duty, in this sense, is not imposed from outside, it is recognized from within. And when it is recognized, it brings with it a certain steadiness in action. O Parth, blessed are the warriors to whom such opportunities to defend righteousness comes unsought. The stairway to the celestial abodes opens up for them. What appears as a difficult or uncomfortable moment is also an opportunity to act in alignment with dharma. Often we see responsibility as a burden, something we are forced into. But Krishna invites a different perspective. There are moments in life when we are called to act not because it is convenient, but because it is right. These moments do not always come with ease, but they come with significance. Recognizing them as opportunities rather than obstacles changes how we approach them. This shift does not remove the challenge, but it changes the meaning of the challenge. However, if you refuse to fight this righteous war and abandon your social duty and reputation, you will certainly incur sin. Krishna brings attention to the cost of avoidance. Not acting is not neutral, it is also a choice and it carries its own consequences. When we move away from what we know is right, there is often an internal disturbance that follows. It may not always be visible externally, but internally there is a sense of misalignment. Over time, this creates restlessness, regret, or a quiet dissatisfaction. Krishna is not using fear to push action. He is highlighting that integrity is maintained not just by what we do, but also by what we choose not to avoid. When action aligns with understanding, there is a sense of inner coherence. When it does not, that coherence begins to break. In our own lives, there are moments when we recognize what needs to be done, yet hesitate. The hesitation may come from discomfort, uncertainty, or the fear of consequences. We often wait for the situation to become easier or for clarity to feel more complete. But some actions do not become easier with time. They require us to step forward despite the discomfort. When we avoid them, the situation may pass, but the internal unease often remains. When we begin to act in alignment with what we know is right, even in the tiniest ways, something shifts within us. There is a quiet sense of stability that begins to build, one that is not dependent on the outcome, but on the alignment of action itself. Thought of the day. Take a quiet moment today to reflect gently. Where in my life am I hesitating even though I know what needs to be done? Is my hesitation coming from lack of clarity or from discomfort? What would it look like to take one step in alignment with what I already understand? Thank you for joining me on Geeta 360. May you find the clarity to recognize your path and the steadiness to walk it even when it feels difficult.